In every corner of the world, Jewish communities are facing mounting challenges that are far too often ignored or misunderstood. From rising anti-Semitism to policies that restrict their fundamental rights, these communities are caught in a struggle for survival, one that is deeply rooted in centuries-old prejudices. What does this mean for Jewish communities in 2025? What are the hidden struggles they face every single day? In this video, we'll peel back the layers of this complex issue. We'll examine how today's policies, fueled by deep-seated biases, continue to marginalize Jewish people, forcing them into fear and uncertainty. But understanding the depth of this crisis isn't just about looking at the past. It's about recognizing how history is still impacting lives today. This is more than just an awareness issue. It's about action, solidarity, and standing together for the rights and dignity of all people. How do we ensure Jewish communities, along with all marginalized groups, are empowered, protected, and allowed to thrive? Join us as we dive into this critical conversation, shedding light on the ongoing struggles, exploring the stories of resilience, and discovering the steps that each of us can take to create a future where Jewish people, and all people, can live with the freedom and respect they deserve. Welcome to Watch the Globe, your go-to guide for uncovering the world's best-kept secrets. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support lets us bring more travel insights your way. The Jewish community in Yemen. The Jewish community in Yemen has a rich historical significance, dating back over 2 millennia, making it one of the oldest Jewish communities in the world. However, this vibrant community has faced a dramatic decline, particularly in the 20th century, due to a combination of factors including emigration and persecution. The establishment of the State of Israel in 1948 prompted a mass exodus, with many Jews fleeing Yemen for safety and a better life. What does it mean for a community to survive through centuries of turmoil, only to see its numbers dwindle in a matter of decades? Today, only a handful of Jews remain, facing significant challenges amid ongoing civil unrest and political turmoil. The conflict in Yemen has exacerbated the precarious situation for the remaining Jewish population, who often find themselves caught in the crossfire of violence and instability. This turmoil has led to increased isolation and vulnerability, as the community struggles to maintain its cultural and religious practices in an increasingly hostile environment. How does the strength of a community endure through adversity? And what can we learn from the resilience of Yemen's Jewish population? Despite these challenges, stories of resilience emerge from the few Jews who remain in Yemen. They continue to uphold their traditions and faith, often relying on their deep-rooted sense of identity and community to navigate the difficulties they face. These narratives of perseverance highlight the strength of the human spirit, reminding us of the importance of supporting and preserving the rich heritage of Yemen's Jewish community. From Yemen's struggle for survival, we turn to Syria, where a similar pattern of persecution and loss has unfolded, echoing the challenges faced by Jews in the Middle East. The Jewish community in Syria boasts a rich and vibrant history, with roots tracing back over 2,000 years. Before the mid-20th century, Jews in Syria made significant contributions to the cultural, economic, and intellectual life of the region. They were involved in various trades, scholarship, and the arts, playing a vital role in the multicultural tapestry of Syrian society. However, the landscape began to shift dramatically after 1948, following the establishment of the State of Israel. The rise of anti-Semitic policies and violence led to widespread fear and persecution, prompting many Jews to flee the country. What happens to a community's cultural identity when its members are forced to leave their homeland? This period marked the beginning of a tragic decline for the community, as increasing hostility and restrictive measures forced them into isolation. Today, only a small number of Jews remain in Syria, facing profound cultural loss and disconnection from their heritage. The remaining community grapples with the challenges of preserving their traditions in an environment that has become increasingly hostile. This isolation not only threatens their cultural identity, but also highlights the broader implications of intolerance and discrimination. How can societies work together to ensure that such vibrant cultures do not disappear? What can we do to help preserve these cultural legacies? The story of Jews in Syria serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of cultural communities and the importance of safeguarding their legacies for future generations. Just as Syria's Jewish community faces cultural disintegration, Iraq's Jewish population similarly faced devastating losses, leaving behind an empty space where once thriving traditions flourished. Before we continue, could I ask for a quick favor? If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with all our latest videos and won't risk missing out on our next hidden gem. It's free, and it helps us continue bringing you the best travel content out there. Thanks so much for your support. The historical presence of Jews in Iraq dates back over 2 millennia, with the community playing a significant role in the cultural and economic life of the region. Jews were integral to the development of trade, finance, and scholarship, contributing to the rich tapestry of Iraqi society. They were prominent in various professions, including banking, textiles, and the arts, and their influence extended into the cultural sphere, enriching the nation's heritage. What happens when centuries of culture are lost in a matter of years? How does a community's legacy shape the larger society? However, the landscape shifted dramatically following the creation of Israel in 1948. The rise of anti-Jewish laws and violent incidents, such as the Farhud pogrom in 1941, created an atmosphere of fear and hostility, leading many Jews to reconsider their future in Iraq. As a result, a mass exodus began, with thousands fleeing to escape persecution and seek safety elsewhere. This migration marked the end of a vibrant community that had thrived for centuries. The departure of Iraqi Jews left a profound cultural and historical void, erasing centuries of traditions, customs, and contributions that had shaped the nation. The loss of this community not only diminished Iraq's cultural diversity, but also severed connections to a rich heritage that had significantly influenced the region. What lessons can we learn from the loss of such a deeply intertwined cultural group? How do we prevent similar losses from occurring in other parts of the world? Today, the legacy of Iraqi Jews serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of cultural identities in the face of intolerance. From Iraq's painful cultural void, we move to Lebanon, a country once known for its peaceful coexistence, but now facing similar challenges. In the early 20th century, Lebanon was characterized by a remarkable harmonious coexistence among its diverse communities, including Jews, Christians, and Muslims. The Jewish community thrived, contributing to the cultural and economic landscape of the country, with many engaged in trade, education, and the arts. However, this coexistence began to unravel with the onset of the Arab-Israeli conflict in the mid-20th century, which significantly altered the dynamics within Lebanon. How does political conflict affect the social fabric of a country? And when cultural diversity is threatened, what is lost? The rise of Hezbollah and the subsequent Lebanese civil war further exacerbated tensions, leading to increased hostility towards the Jewish population. As anti-Jewish sentiments grew, many Jews felt compelled to leave, fearing for their safety and future in a country that had once embraced them. Today, the Jewish presence in Lebanon is nearly non-existent, with only a handful of individuals remaining. What role does tolerance play in ensuring the survival of a nation's diverse cultures? How can we rebuild relationships after such divisions? This decline marks a significant loss not only for the Jewish community, but also for Lebanon as a whole, as it erases a vital part of the nation's historical tapestry. The absence of Jews in Lebanon serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of coexistence in the face of conflict and the profound impact of regional tensions on cultural diversity. Now, let's explore Saudi Arabia's unique situation, where the once present Jewish community has all but vanished, and its absence is a stark reminder of the strict religious policies that still shape the nation today. The absence of a Jewish population in Saudi Arabia is a notable aspect of the country's strict religious policies, which are rooted in a conservative interpretation of Islam. Historically, Jews lived in the Arabian Peninsula, but over the centuries, various factors, including religious intolerance and political shifts, led to their gradual disappearance. What happens to a country's cultural richness when it becomes one-dimensional? How do we ensure that diverse communities are not erased? Today, the kingdom does not officially recognize Judaism, and the practice of any religion other than Islam is prohibited, creating an environment where Jewish life cannot flourish. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia's staunch anti-Israel stance complicates the situation for Jewish visitors. Despite recent efforts to improve diplomatic relations and foster economic ties with Israel, the prevailing sentiment among many Saudis remains one of hostility towards the Jewish state. This creates a challenging atmosphere for Jewish individuals who may wish to visit or engage in business within the kingdom. Can diplomatic efforts bridge the divide between cultural differences and long-standing policies? What does the future hold for minority communities in such regions? The complexities of religious and political dynamics in the region further exacerbate these challenges, as the intersection of faith and geopolitics often leads to heightened tensions. In this video, we explore the myriad challenges faced by Jewish communities across various countries, highlighting their unique histories and the factors contributing to their struggles. From the rich heritage of Jews in Yemen and Syria to the ongoing difficulties in Saudi Arabia and Lebanon, we examined how historical prejudices, geopolitical tensions, and societal attitudes have shaped the experiences of these communities. We emphasize the importance of understanding both historical and modern factors that affect Jewish populations, as this knowledge fosters empathy and awareness of their plight. Recognizing the cultural void left by the decline of these communities is crucial for appreciating the diversity that enriches our global society. How can we, as individuals in a global community, support Jewish communities around the world? What can we do to prevent further cultural erosion and ensure that Jewish people are respected and protected? As we conclude, we encourage you to engage with this important topic further. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful content, liking this video to show your support, and sharing it with friends and family to help raise awareness about the challenges faced by Jewish communities worldwide. By spreading this message, we can contribute to a greater understanding and appreciation of cultural diversity, ultimately fostering a more inclusive and tolerant world. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Watch the Globe for more travel tips and hidden gems. Your support helps us continue to create more content that brings the world's wonders to life. Until next time, keep exploring and keep dreaming.